Hi, my name is Felipe Cas from ABC. I am with Michael Clemens, an expert on immigration policy. And I want to ask you, Michael, if you have to choose one policy that will reduce poverty the most, what will be your best choice?
So we're talking about global poverty.
Exactly.
And I don't think that there's one policy that can help everybody to emerge from poverty. Any policy approach to poverty has to be diverse, but let's consider the relative impacts of different policies that we could think about for getting any particular person out of poverty. Microcredit is very trendy right now in development circles, and microcredit has been shown to raise people's income by somewhat 10, 20, 30% a year if you are borrowing heavily from a microcredit institution in Bangladesh, for example. Might be the increase in your income you could get from investing that money. Conditional cash transfers like Oportunidades in Mexico and other similar programs around Latin America have shown that they can raise people's schooling, which has financial returns. And those financial returns could be substantial. 10, 20, 30% of a person's earnings could be increased by that. How about a different policy? Letting somebody who works outside the United States and wants to work in the United States to work in the United States. What is the return to that for their income? So my co-authors Claudio Montenegro and Glenn Pritchett and I calculated that number for 42 countries. How much would a 35-year-old male with 9 years of education typically make in Mexico, Haiti, Brazil, all over the world, and how much would that same exact person make typically in the United States if they could work there? And for Haiti, for example, there's a 680% gain just to stepping into the United States. And notice that that's free. Microcredit costs money, conditional cash transfers cost money. Somebody coming here and working doesn't require any public intervention, any public money. In fact, it just requires the absence of a public intervention in order for them to come build the United States economy as immigrants always.
But that sounds very nice, but it's a little bit, I wonder whether this is just a dream or is something that actually we can really do, because we know that politics plays a big role, and probably Americans doesn't like people from outside coming into their country. So do you really think that your kind of dream can come true?
Mobility is already here. So people talk about the possibility of guest worker visas. That was a part of the failed 2006 and the failed 2007 attempts to reform immigration legislation in this country, and it's probably going to be a part of next year's attempt. What's envisioned is hundreds of thousands of temporary visas for people who want to work in the United States to come temporarily and do so. What people who oppose such a policy seldom talk about is that typically in years before the present crisis, and soon we'll see this happening again, hundreds of thousands of people are crossing the border anyway. They're just doing it in an unauthorized way and invisibly to the government. What needs to happen is that mobility, which is already happening and which is going to be happening and is absolutely inevitable, be brought within a system, some way to understand and regulate it. This is why all three people who have ever held the post of Secretary of Homeland Security of this country have one thing in common, and it's that they are in favor of guest workers. They are in favor of hundreds of thousands of legal, temporary ways every year for people who want to work in this country to work in this country. Mobility will happen. It's not a pipe dream. The question is how we're going to do it. One
more question. If you're looking only at one side of the coin, because you're telling me that everybody who is coming will gain a lot, but what's going to happen to the Americans who live in here? How much they're going to lose by this policy?
This is something we have a long experience with. America has been accepting immigrants ever since my great-great-great-grandfather came in 1842, and it's still accepting lots of immigrants. And economists for decades have looked very carefully into this question. Brilliant economists. George Borjas is a very well-known economist at the Kennedy School, and his estimate, which is the most pessimistic of several estimates of this kind, is that 20 years of cumulative immigration to the United States, including all unauthorized, by the way, that's authorized and unauthorized, caused the wage of the average American worker to go down by 3%. cumulatively after 20 years. So we're talking about something that's a little over 0.1% every year. First of all, that's incredibly small. Second of all, that's the most pessimistic of several estimates. Third of all, that doesn't account for it. That's nominal dollars. It doesn't account for the fact that immigrants make things cheaper. It makes childcare more affordable. It makes construction more affordable. It makes agricultural goods more affordable. These are very, very, very tiny things. So yes, it's plausible that that immigrants could bid down the wage for jobs for native workers. We have experience. We've seen what happened, and the effect is almost zero.
Great. Thank you very much for coming to ABC and Polar
Thank you.
Forecast. Thank you.